The Laboratory Zero is a new chaos that can be found in the Forbidden Catalyst event. The general concept of it is like other chaoses that we've had before, but there are some significant changes to what we're used to. And though the changes that Laboratory Zero brings might seem minor at first, I found that significantly altering my gameplay plan when going into it gave me a lot more success. So in this video I aim to pass down my best tips and knowledge regarding the Chaos Laboratory Zero. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel, my name is Hako. And like I said, in this video I'm gonna give you my best tips to beating Laboratory Zero, and I like things like quick, easy and digestible, so let's do it before my coffee gets cold. Now, if you're completely unfamiliar with like what chaos even is, and like, you know, how you play the basics of chaos, I have a video covering that in the description. Like, I won't be going over the basic stuff, but rather focus on the changes that we encounter in the Laboratory Zero version of it. So, first and foremost, even though it is a new Zero, it also benefits of the Zero system upgrades, so make sure that you always keep this one upgraded, because it will make your chaos exploration a lot smoother. So, now with this event going, chaos comes in like 3 different forms. You have the basic form in Chaos Manifestation, then we have the Zero system, and now during this event we also have the Laboratory Zero that can be found in the Forbidden Catalysts tab. In here, if we click Chaos, we can see that we can challenge this new Laboratory Zero at a bunch of different difficulty levels. Now, the first time you're doing this, a lot of difficulties will be locked, and the way to unlock 4 is that you need to beat it on 3, and the way to unlock 5 is that you need to beat it on 4. You get the gist. And difficulty 1 to 4 are kinda like the normal to easy levels. It starts ramping up and becoming quite hard at 5 and upwards. At 5 or deeper in, you start getting like negative modifiers. And we can also spend a resource that we get in here called Pure White Fragment to like re-roll it into better negative statuses. And generally you get more of the negative debuffs. They're like the harder difficulty we try to challenge. But as always with Chaos, the more risk, the more reward. And now what we want to aim for is going to be like very account to account dependent. We want to go as hard as we can, but still hopefully get through it. So this one, for example, isn't like too bad. Like, one of my favorite ones is when it adds in elite spots. Like, let's try re-rolling it a little bit. Now decrease max HP by 20% and monster gain 1 fury every 3 turns. This one is doable. It could be better, but like, this is not bad. This is arguably even easier. And what we can also see here is that the save data value, it changes tier depending on like how bad the debuffs are. The more severe debuffs, the better the save data value. Now this one is by far like the easiest debuff, but you will also see that my save data value went from like 11 to 12 to a 10, just because this is like significantly easier than the first bunch of debuffs were. In Laboratory Zero, you will always face the same 2 bosses. First, we will go up against the Family Head, and then as a final boss, we will be up against Sweet Dream. Now, good to note is that both of these bosses are weak to Void, so like Void is generally pretty strong in this chaos. So Shizuru, for example, she's probably gonna have a great time in here. And just like in any chaos exploration, we can head into deep trauma mode. This makes stuff a little bit spicier, but I would advise to like always try to like beat stuff in the deep trauma mode. You will gain significantly more epiphanies, and the save data value is gonna be better. And I found that the increase in difficulty this brings gets mitigated by us having more epiphanies. So just like any chaos exploration, we get a grid map ahead of us and we have to decide where we're going. I would recommend like always pulling up the map and having a little bit of a look around, like see what path is good to go. I personally try to avoid as many campsites as I can get away with, especially if they don't have a shop. And instead I try to like hunt for the elite combats. Now, one of the main differences with Laboratory Zero compared to other chaos exploration is that I find that the question marks are even more valuable. And one of the big things why that is that on a question mark in Laboratory Zero, we can like encounter a little pocket dimension, a little wormhole where we can enter into, do some extra combats, some extra events with really good loot, and then get out, all for the cost of 1 tile. And these little pocket dimension domains are insanely valuable. On my last run, I managed to encounter it twice. Other than the pocket dimensions, there's also some really amazing gear that can be found only in the question marks in Laboratory Zero. So normally in Chaos Exploration, I try to get as many like combats as possible. In Laboratory Zero, I try to get as many question marks as possible, together with as many elites as possible. And now one of the big reasons why we want to be doing Laboratory Zero is that we can accumulate gear and cards in here that we cannot find anywhere outside of it. Aggressive Mutant, for example, is an absolutely cracked card, and any like special card that is special just to Laboratory Zero will have this little swirl icon on it. So we can find special gear that we can only find in Laboratory Zero, and also special cards. And these cards go from pretty good to absolutely freaking broken. While exploring Laboratory Zero, we can also come across forbidden cards. Now these cards will come with like a massive negative side that gets cleansed as soon as we like progress to the interior. And I usually pick these ones up in the pocket dimensions. They might be the only place where you can get them, I'm not quite sure. But these cards are fantastic. Now, a really good way to get some Laboratory Zero cards is by resting at camp, and as a grace we can also pick up, so we have a bigger chance of like actually getting forbidden cards when we do training in the camp. And this is where I would say that like Laboratory Zero like takes a big pivot in priority compared to other Chaos Exploration. Because the forbidden cards are so freaking good that your main goal should be hunting down as many as possible, and for showcase purposes I want you to take a look at this Veronica deck. Also, one of the best cards is called Forbidden Algorithm. It has lead on it, and quite a few of the new cards have lead on it, which means that multifaceted Parallel Universe Nexus, Magna's best partner, has gotten a big boost. Anytime I can pick this up, I do it on like my sub DPS or my support, or both. Forbidden Algorithm is an insanely expensive card, but it will create one random forbidden card in your hand. Now, if you have the Universe Nexus, it will automatically like just play it for free. There are a few forbidden cards, one of them is Engraved Malice, and now this one is absolutely insane. It also has a lead on it, so Veronica will also play it for free if you have the Nexus. Normally you cannot copy forbidden cards, but there is a special event that we can encounter that actually allows you to copy one. So, in this deck that you're looking at, we have 2 forbidden cards and we have 2 forbidden algorithm, and we have the Nexus. Like, this is by far my most cracked Veronica deck, and it's absolutely silly. Now what I like to do is that I pair that together with my Cassius that also has a deck with 2 forbidden algorithm and a Universe Nexus. Another fantastic card is Forced Learning Apparatus. Now, I wouldn't want to pay like 1 or 2 for this one, but if it gets played for free, you know, be my guest. Another thing I've noticed that works really well in this Chaos is having characters that have like a bunch of cheap attacks rather than a few heavy hitters, because basically all of the bosses and a lot of the elite units, you want to be hitting them a lot rather than like some few hard times. A lot of them will stack morale and other nasty buffs, and we deplete that by hitting them successively. My absolute favorite team to bring into this is Yuki, Veronica and Cassius. Yuki is second to none when it comes to AoE damage, and for the boss fights, Veronica's single target nuking really helps out. Now, of course, everybody's account will look vastly different, but Void carries and like Void teams in general will have an easier time. And since the bosses and later stages have around 30 to 40,000 HP, well, we want to make sure that we have something that's pretty good at killing bosses, not only AoE damage. So everybody, that is my tips for Lab Zero. Make sure to hit up more question marks than you normally would, because there are some really good events that can only happen with the question marks. Your main goal should be to pick up as many forbidden cards as possible, so having a healer that allows you to like do the training more than resting at camp to hopefully get more forbidden cards is absolutely amazing. When you're playing around with the question marks, what we really want to get is a dimensional tunnel. They are quite hard to come by, but on average you will encounter 1 on every run, and sometimes I've encountered 2. Now I forget which one it is, it might be a mouthful. It allows you to copy a card if you're choosing, even a forbidden card, and I would say if you have a really good forbidden card, making a copy of that is your absolutely like by far best bet. And of course, general Chaos Exploration tips apply, so like try to focus like 1, maybe 2 characters at a time to focus on making one really good deck for one character, then you focus the next one. If you want more general chaos exploration tips, check the video in the description. And if you, dear viewer, if you have any additional tips to like mastering Laboratory Zero, let your fellow community members know down in the comments. These are my personal tips that I apply to my gameplay to achieve the most success in it. I'm sure a lot of other people have a lot of other tips. So remember to check the comments. And as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a big hug. If you enjoy Chaos Zero Nightmare content and maybe some Zero content, consider subscribing to the channel. I put it out several days a week. Alright everybody, this is getting cold, so until next time, Hako out.